Really?
In my dreams. I've never met a bishop and he's never said it.
I don't think who was the bishop? Come on, who's even heard
We
that?
never know,
exactly.
darling. Equity won't let him in, anyway.
No.
So what were you saying there, Harriet?
What, my darling?
What were you saying to
Nick was just, I was just, you know, Nick was saying that thing of when we've got this lockdown now, do you get nervous? And, you know, how is it
I mean,
you?
for me, I was saying that between the two of us, I very hardly get anxious. The only time I get anxious is when we're working with someone in therapy and we're not at the point where we know that we've got them over the issue. Yeah. That's when I hate running out of time. So the fact that we've got this additional lockdown time now, immediately when that was announced, I thought, right, how can we help other people get through this? Because we're okay, things haven't changed that much for us. I spend most of my time with Eva anyway. We've got our kids with us at home, so for us, we're relatively normal, but there's a lot of people out there that are separated from the families that are on their own and we're thinking, how can we possibly help them? So I suppose that's the only thing that I've got anxious about, really.
Yeah.
I suppose
I can imagine.
I think one thing that has worried me a lot about the lockdown is, like I said, we're lucky, but there's people that are in families that aren't that they don't get on. So that's one thing. Then you've got we've got sort of more serious issues like relationships where there might be some sort of domestic abuse. So that's a concern. Then you've got people that are on their own and feeling incredibly lonely. So we've kind of tried to look at different things, and every day we'll post a little message up or put something up on our social media just to try and lift people's spirits. And we do our live chats on Facebook and Instagram Mondays and Thursdays, literally just so that we're there, that if anybody kind of wants to ask us a question or just have a little chat.
Yeah.
Dee,
what worries me, Eva, is that what frightens me is not what we're going through now, but it's when all this ends and we have to go back to what we might think is normal life. And my fear is how are people going to cope? Because I think this world will have totally, utterly changed.
Yeah.
Oh, do you know what? It can never be the same again, and there's no doubt of that at all. And I think a lot of people who I can see it two ways. People have social anxiety before. The fact that they've been locked down, they might struggle a bit more because they've not been interacting with people as much as they should have done. Yes. However, I read a report today on a study, and it said that only 9% of people actually want to go back to life as it was because they've found better things in their life. They've had better interactions with the family. They're spending less money. Yeah. They're finding that more time cooking and so on.
I actually don't think that life will be ever the same after this.
No, a lot of people said that.
Yeah,
I think there's a question coming in from Nick at Doggy Fun Daycare. And she says to ask you, she said having animals really helps her with her anxiety. And to ask you, do you agree with that? And
absolutely.
And, they do help, don't they? It's lovely to have cuddles with animals if you're on your own.
Absolutely. I mean, we are huge animal lovers. I mean, I'm just you nearly got one of our 6 cats then just running in front of the camera, but you ran off again. But yeah,
brilliant.
Yeah,
I know.
Cats.
6. Yes,
I've had 4, but 6 is cray. Oh my God!
2 tarantulas, 6 lizards, a scorpion,
a spider snake.
So we do have quite a few animals.
I just need to know, how many times do you hug the scorpion, please?
Well, how many times do we do what? It's only baby. He's only teeny tiny.
Oh, that's all right then.
Yeah, he's only teeny tiny.
Yeah, Sherry's always hugging her guinea pigs, aren't you, darling?
No, I'm not. They bite me, Eva. Every time I do them, they bite me.
Really?
I don't know what I've done. I feed them everything I've got in the house. I feed them. I mean, it's cost a fortune.
Yeah, I think you've just got guinea pigs with bad attitudes. I wouldn't worry about it, Sherry, to be honest.
Eva, what advice do you give to people in our situation? I mean, I can't see my daughter or my grandchildren. My brother is very ill in Wales, and I can't be with him. And some of the anxious and the pain. I mean, I cry a lot because, and I'm not ashamed of that. But I just think is there advice for people to say, come on, I know we're all in it together, but that doesn't always help, does it?
No, do you know what? No, it doesn't. And I think that we've also got to be realistic, and we are all human and we all have emotions. So going back to what Dee was mentioning about animals, if you do have animals, generally, not bad attitude guinea pigs, but if you can cuddle your animal or somebody, that really helps, because just physical contact helps to release the kind of feel-good endorphins and things like that. Chatting, speaking to your family and friends as much as you can. I mean, look at this. We're on Zoom here. It's incredible.
Yes.
So
I didn't even know Zoom existed until 3 days ago.
But interacting with them, I think even potentially having a list of things that, so start pre-planning a list of things that you're going to do when all this is over. A lovely thing that we've done is writing a letter to somebody who really means the world to us, and then picking the phone up and reading that letter to them and just saying, be quiet, I'm going to read
That's
this
lovely.
And
Beautiful.
It really is. It makes you all feel so valued and valuable for the recipient. So I do think that it's quite, the fact that you're crying, Sherry, I don't think, like you said, nothing to be embarrassed about. I think we've got to let our emotions
Crying's a great release.
It is, but just try and talk to them as much as you possibly can.
Eva,
yes.
I'm worried that I am going to become an agoraphobic. I'm serious. And I think that's quite, and that's not a question that's flippant. It's the truth.
And I totally hear what you're saying there, Debbie, because again, what we're hearing is that, and this goes back to what Sherry was saying, that when we actually go back to this, what we were calling normality, but it actually won't be, that we are still going to be fearful, because until we've got a vaccine that is working and we can go out and still interact with people normally, then it's never going to be the same again. We are still going to be cautious with it. We're going to be anxious. And like you say, Debbie, a lot of people are saying, I'm worried about going into the outside world. Well, obviously, we always sort of say, look, create a worry time. So every day, what you should do is, for example, say, okay, at 3 o'clock, I'm gonna have, that's gonna be my worry time. So as you feel anxieties and worries come in, you say to yourself, no, I don't need to think about that right now.
Until 3 o'clock.
Until 3 o'clock. So number one, that kind of helps to feel a little bit better.
Yeah.
But then when you actually come to your worry time, it makes you realise that actually perhaps things aren't quite that bad. And I think that we have to be a little bit patient and wait to hear what the government say. And I think it's going to be slowly. And I think we're still going to have to take precautions. So I hear what you're saying, Debbie, that you're worried about going out, but I would expect that if it means sort of going visiting your daughter, that you could do that without hesitation.
Of course.
So it's going to be maybe for those that are anxious, small steps, a little bit at a time. And I'll say I'm under no illusion that even when this is over, like the lockdown starting to relax a little bit, that we're still going to have to take precautions. And the fact is that ultimately we should still wake up with gratitude every morning, because we are still alive. We have still got an amazing NHS. We have still got amazing things like what you ladies are doing here on the Wonderbirds Show. There's just so many great things going on as well. So I think it's a change of perspective.
And of course, Captain Tom, who
incredible,
20 million,
amazing,
at nearly 100 years old. I mean, we should actually look at that and go, do you know what? That's just beyond, isn't it? I mean, 100 years old.
Yeah,
that's incredible.
It's incredible.
We'll never forget
That was
that.
inspiring us.
Yeah.
agreed.
I think also Gok was saying the other day when he was on the show that he was very anxious and then realised the people who were having the toughest time are the people on the front line. And he talked to himself and gave himself a little kind of reminder of all that he has. And I think for myself, I just try and think I can deal with today. Tomorrow I can't deal with. I'm naturally a catastrophist. So I've already sorted out every dreadful thing that could possibly happen in a nano. But I have to say I deserve to make the most of this day because we're lucky to have it.
And you're absolutely right. And I think some great things will come out of this. They're already starting to come out of this. The fact that last night at 8 o'clock, we're all outside clapping the NHS. Amazing. And it shows what a resilient nation we are. We always have been. And we'll get through this. And I think we'll learn a lot of great things from it too.
We were all outside except Debbie, who has the gin issue.
Gin.
And I was jumping up and down.
Well, you should have a little side of a gin. I know that that my mum, for example, my mum's 72, and they've got this WhatsApp group on the cul-de-sac where she lives, and she's meeting and speaking to neighbours that she's never spoken to before over this WhatsApp group. So I know for sure that after lockdown, she suddenly that they've got a community now, whereas before she didn't know a soul. So that's kind of nice, and I think
it's what's important in our life now, isn't it, Eva? We've realised that things aren't important that were before, and that's what's important. Communication.
It's put things into perspective, hasn't it, Sherry? I think it really has, and I think that is a positive, because
and I think kindness has become a currency, hasn't it? Kindness is the currency.
Yes,
that's a great,
definitely.
True.
And I think that's something that Nick and I do every day without fail, is we practice gratitude, and I've put a lot down to our kind of buoyant and happy maybe sort of life, and how we feel as a consequence of that.
So let me tell you how that works. So what we do, we set our alarm for 7 minutes sooner than we need to get up, because our alarm, the snooze button's 7 minutes. So as soon as the alarm goes off, I get out of bed, hit the snooze button, I've got 7 minutes of gratitude. So I start thinking about, I wake up every day next to my best friend.
That's me, by the way, not some
Thank God you told us. I was confused there for a moment.
Obviously needed clarification. And for those that don't know, we have been together 29 years.
Wow.
It's our 25th wedding anniversary next year.
Yeah,
wow.
Thank you.
You were babies.
Yes, well, thank you. So I start with that, then I think about our children, how amazing they are. I think about all our animals. I think about the people that we help, and I go on and on and on. And I get to about 40 or 50 things in 7 minutes. And I feel like on top of the world. That's how I start my day.
Yeah, and it kind of elevates you. So, all of us are going to face things in the day that's going to pull us down. But if we start here and drop, but if you start a bit higher and drop, you elevate your mood, basically. So even though things will still go wrong, you'll finish your day in a better way.
I think my gratitude is going to be initially Bailey's and Haagen-Dazs.
Girl after my own heart.
Thank you. Listen, guys, you have been absolutely amazing. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Will you come back?
Honestly.
Will you come back and see us, please? Please come back and see us.
We would love that.
We'll so look forward to it.
We need you.
You're all gorgeous. Thank you.
Wonderbirds rock.
Yes, they do.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye. Still
amazing.
But they're amazing.
Oh,
amazing.
Incredible.
You know what? They've made me feel better.
Yeah, they have already.
Just by being there, it's what they give off, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's their energy.
It is.
Do you know what I do? Do you know what I do every morning? The gratitude thing, which is quite easy. I do it on an alphabetical order. I'm grateful for A, B, C, all the things in the alphabet. So when you just do, and all the things that you're grateful for.
So when you get to G, is it gin? Is it gin?
Of course, it's gin.
Who's gin?
Oprah does that. Oprah Winfrey does that. She wakes up and thinks, is grateful for everything. That's the first thing she does. It must work. Yeah.
I need to know what you do.
Who's Jim?
What are you doing? Guys, listen, what are you doing for the weekends? What are you doing for the weekend?
Well, I'm making hats.
Obviously.
My newfound skill, darlings. And I'm so enjoying it now that I'm making more hats.
I'm drinking the chai tea, which I haven't got with me, but I got mine today. And Harriet Thorpe. You used to be a very good friend of mine, but you got granola in yours, and I didn't get mine.
I've got lots of granola. I've got 5 different types of granola.
You got granola as well.
Oh yes.
And I didn't get any granola.
And a chocolate drink.
Yes, I got that too.
And a bottle of vodka to go with it.
Does she think I'm fat? She didn't give me any granola, and I'm really impressed.
It's not
I rest my case.
Guys,
I haven't got mine at all. I've got nothing.
There's a lot of bitterness. But can I remind all the viewers that they can get a 15% discount with the wonderful phrase, and the discount word is Wonderbirds 15, and it goes on for several weeks.
Right. But don't try and get any granola, because you won't get any. Harriet and Sherry have got it, and not me.
And I ain't got none.
Can I just tell you that the crazy thing that I did yesterday, obviously I'm desperate to do a lot of cleaning and things, and I thought, it's cushion cover day, I must cleanse them. So I put them in the washing machine, and I'm hearing this doof doof. I'm thinking that's a heavy cushion.
Mhm.
It was the TV remote.
Ah,
No.
Yes.
oh my goodness, I know
So I
that one.
stopped the machine and I pulled it out straight away and I dried it. It's going on and off. It will allow the television to go on and off, but it won't
Yes.
change channels. So I'm locked down onto ITV.
Well, do you know what,
Oh.
Harriet? Somebody out there have just listened to you and will know how to help you and will send a message in to you.
That's true, actually. Very good point,
It
Sherry.
is true. It will.
You know, I could have done with this whole thing, Wonderbirds, when I put my mobile phone in the washing machine a few months ago. Because actually, I was just dashing out, and I suddenly heard clump, 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 open, and I thought, oh my goodness. So I tried to stop it, and it just wouldn't stop. It kept going and going. And eventually, when I got it, it was absolutely soaking wet, and it was, but fortunately, the SIM card worked. But the mobile, no.
Well, you know what you're supposed to do? You're supposed to put it into a bowl of rice.
Doesn't work.
Yes.
Doesn't
Somebody,
work.
Not
somebody
cooked
told me that
rice.
after.
Doesn't work. Not cooked rice, you pillock.
Okay, I think on that note, I'm going to say and take charge before it gets worse. Darlings, we've had a lovely week. We have somebody very exciting on Monday.
Oh, we do.
Dr. Ranj is coming to visit us.
Yes.
We do.
Yes.
That is wonderful,
Good.
isn't it?
So have a
Fabulous.
great weekend, guys, and not
And
too much
you.
kids.
And
See you
you
on
and
Monday.
everybody.
More
See you
on my
all.
bush on Monday.